lunch and faculty today. My name is Greg Persecutor. I'm the Senior Associate Athletic Director at Oklahoma City University. Jim was called away on a family issue and tonight will be here today. He certainly regrets that. I wish all the reason certainly appreciate your continued support. So glad you're here to turn out and be part of the show. Obviously, we had a pretty good spring. Men's golf pulled down yet some more wins. Women's golf had their largest margin of victory in school history and what in the nation. How many was it? 52 stroke win, so not a bad weekend at the golf course. Volleyball obviously won the Center Athletic Conference. They advanced to the national tournament. Got out of the opening round and went on to the final site. Cross country had a little bit of success. We'll bring that up to talk about that. Men's soccer advanced to the national tournament. Right? There you are. Yes, men advanced
to the playoff stage.
To the playoffs. Women's soccer won conference co-champion and then also advanced. So pretty good spring. Pretty good fall. As far as today goes, like I said, the first person I think we're going to hear from is Matt Aguero, who already took down our national championship concerns and making sure that we continue our run. So, Matt,
thanks everybody for coming. We appreciate you guys coming out and supporting us for this Blue-White Luncheon. Tell you how our season went. We had a pretty successful year. Our men and women both won the conference meet. We had to host the conference meet for the first time this year in Oklahoma City, so that was pretty exciting. We had 8 all-conference athletes on the women's side and 8 on the men's. So the top 15 of the conference meet are all conference. We had more than 50% on both of the women's side. So that's the first time that happened. At the national meet, our women finished 13th. I was hoping we could get in the top 10, just didn't have it that day. Lydia Monto, who ran well for us all year, had another great race. She finished 3rd at the national meet, so that's her 6th all-American honor. So she was done with her eligibility now. She'll be graduating. She had a really good career here at OCU. On the men's side, our men were ranked number 1 all year long. And we won the national meet, beat Indiana Wesleyan. I thought it was after the race, you know, the way cross country works is you run 7, you count the top 5. So you're kind of trying to count as 300 runners finish across the finish line. So you're trying to count where you're at. And we had Oscar Kipkoros and Max McNeil. Been great front runners for us all year. They were 9th and 10th at the national meet. The team that got 2nd actually had 2 guys ahead of them. So early on we were a little worried, but our 3rd, 4th, and 5th runner had a really good day. So we're really looking at that. Pretty interesting and kind of funny story is, you know, we think we won and we're waiting for the official results. We're waiting about 10, 15 minutes. And we don't want to start celebrating early and not then. Well, the official results come out, so we're happy. All the athletes are coming around, cheering. And I pull them all over. I want to talk to them in a huddle. And I get to look and I notice we're missing somebody. And so we're missing Oscar Kipkoros. So he kind of had a shin issue about the week before. So as soon as he finished, he went into the medical tent and put ice on his shin, which, you know, he's wearing like a singlet, short running shorts. So it's about 30 degrees there, about 15, 20 miles per hour wind. So obviously the best thing to do is to put ice on your shin. So he gets freezing. They take him to the bus. So he's not there. It's like, well, let's go get Oscar so we can kind of all celebrate together. As we're walking to the bus, Moses Irene, who's from South Africa, he's just a character. Him and Oscar are kind of always going at each other. Well, he comes to me very happy. He says, Coach, let's act sad. I was confused at first. I was like, why do you want to act sad? He's like, let's trick Oscar, let's act sad. Okay. So we get on the bus. I try to act as sad as I can. Oscar, I'm ready to talk to you. Come out here. So we huddle up. Everybody's trying to act sad. And I said, guys, you gave it a good effort. Just a little shorter. And then I started laughing. And I said, no, we won. So Oscar, who weighs about 70 pounds, tries to pick me up. It didn't work very good, but it was pretty cool to act sad that day. But yeah, the guys ran great. We're really proud of them. We have everybody coming back for next year, so hopefully we can make another run at it too. Any questions? All right, thank you.
We were huddled around Tony's desk yesterday. I don't know if you know it, but Matt actually won the Oklahoma City Marathon back in video 2 days ago. And in that, at the conference meeting, I was out there, and it was amazing to watch Matt, who was up and down and up and down and up and down. He outran the whole team about 6 times over, trying to keep up with his kids and screaming out of the chair and wants to throw him in the water. If you haven't had a chance to go see Matt's marathon win, it's worth a watch. It's pretty entertaining. Obviously, the biggest reason that we do this and the biggest reason you're here is our student athletes. And we have a young lady that I would like to have her stand and introduce herself. One of our women's golfers. So,
Hi, I'm Reagan. I play golf here, and I'm a senior. And I am a nursing major, so I have 1 semester left.
What's your last name?
McQuaid.
Okay.
I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that's about it.
Next one, obviously, we are in the throes of basketball season, so we're going to go second. I'll bring up Bo Overton first. Women's basketball coach, who will update on you.
Oh, no.
Hello, everybody. Well, we've had a great fall. As everybody knows, we're in finals right now. My team is losing their minds, but we are getting to practice about an hour a day. So that's what we got going on right now. We are 8-1, 3-0 in our conference. Really good win at John Brown last week. Got an interesting team because here's the reason. I have a veteran team. I think we started a junior, 2 seniors, a sophomore, and a junior. So it's real interesting because that's a good team. They play and they do what they're supposed to do. But it's interesting because my 2 best players are freshmen, and they come off the bench and they do a really good job for us. So it's really unique that at our level and how we do things, that you have freshmen that are doing as well as they're doing. So it makes us to have a deep team as we get to play these Thursday, Saturday back-to-back games, and then get into tournaments. I think all we can do is get better and better. So got a little break. We will play Saturday, and then we're off from the 16th to the 26th. Come back, and then we right out of the chute. We've got Matthew and that Shea. Two tough games for us in this league to kind of see, how we're going to fit. I think in the league you got Waylon Baptist, who's number 3 in the country right now. We're 10th. John Brown's going to win a lot of games up there. Mackew's good. USAO had all seniors last year, so they might drop down a little bit. Kind of the same old thing. It's going to come down to, I think, us and Wayland. A lot of the teams are better. You know, when you take your Texas swing to Wesleyan, to Fort Worth, and to Dallas, to Saku, those teams are better. So it's really interesting to see who's winning as they go down there and who's not. And, we're going to have to be ready for those trips. So looking forward to the break, but also looking forward to them getting back and this final push as we try to win another league title. I'm going to hand it to Vinay, right? But before I do, does anybody have anything they want to gripe to me about?
Yeah, do we wear our New Year's Eve hats on the 31st to the game at 2 o'clock?
We have a game the 31st at 2 o'clock, and I expect you all to be there. Greg's bringing champagne.
So it's not on campus?
It doesn't matter because we're on break. You need to wear your hat.
Wear my
You
hat.
need to wear your hat. I want to see that hat. But yeah, we've got, it's going to be good because we're going to play that game that, I think that's early in the week before we play those 2 league games. So it's good to get a game in before we started that week. Worked out perfect. Anything else? Anybody else?
I'll wear my hat if you wear the hat there.
I'll wear it. I'll wear the hat.
Are you glad not to drive the lane against Taylor Sylvester?
What's that?
Are you glad that you're not having to drive lane against Taylor Sylvester?
She leads the country in blocks, which, you know, it's real interesting because she's 6'5", she's doing a great job, and the reason that's interesting is because really our best post player is the freshman. And it's hard for me to get the freshman minutes because Taylor's playing so good. So we're trying to figure out how to get them both in the game. Makes us a big team, and yeah, because she leads the country in blocks, she also leads the country in field goal percentage. A lot of defensive stats. So it's hard for teams to get to the basket on us with our size.
That freshman's pretty good with blocks too.
She's second. Yeah, she's second. She's going to have to pick it up. She's going to have to pick it up to get up with Taylor. What's that?
Which freshman?
That is our freshman post player, Abby Seltzer from Thomas, Oklahoma. She's good. What's that? I got a percolate. I got 12 daughters running around today trying to take tests. All right, anything else? Thank you. Thank you.
I want to real quick introduce Chris Maxson right here. He just joined us. He's joined us, Associate Athletic Director, helping us with development. And then I want to also stand up for a second, Judy. Judy's really helped us a lot in development as well, and I'll talk more about her here in a second. She helps us tremendously as far as fundraising, and I know Chris is going to help Kelly Perry and Greg a lot because we dump a lot of problems on Greg and Kelly's desk constantly to get help from both, and I know Chris is going to enjoy getting some of those now as well to maybe help those two out a little bit. So appreciate all the work you guys do. You guys are big time for what we do, I know for sure. In fact, I'm ready to put some on your desk, don't worry. All right. About Bo's team really quick, Abby, his freshman, I keep telling him we got to find her more time. She played in one game this year 11 minutes, and she had 19 points. And I said, hey, if you would have gave her 20 minutes, she might have had 40.
Saving her.
So he's got a really fun team to watch for sure, and 2 freshmen are extraordinary for him coming off the bench and leading them in scoring. Our team, we had a really nice month of November, brand new team. As I told you guys last time, we had no starters back from last year. So it's been interesting and unique to try to get everyone on the same page. 2-2 to open our season, 2-1 in conference, coming off of a very good win at John Brown in our last game. John Brown had just gone on the road and beat Texas Wesleyan and Sagu on the road. Both were nationally ranked, and John Brown had just jumped into the top 25. So for us to go on the road and get that game, probably the best we had played up to this point. I think our team's getting better every time we hit the floor, and I'm hoping we can continue to tap into what I hope we found in the last game. But we played with a lot of effort, and if we can duplicate that a few more times, I think we'll be really successful moving into next semester and finishing this one. So really excited about the direction that our team is going. It's just taking a little bit more time than what I'd like. We're like Bo, we got a lot of upperclassmen, but not a lot of experience back from last year. The three main guys we got back from last year, none of them started for us. So, we've had some really bright play from Elijah Chrisman, who's a third-year player for us. But he didn't play his first 2 years hardly at all for us, and he's our third leading scorer right now. But his play has improved each year, and he's kind of one of those bubble guys. We didn't know how he was going to help us this year or if he was going to help us this year, but I've been really proud of his play. And then Mark Howell, who's a returning point guard for us, has just been tremendous for us this year. In our last game, he had 6 assists and no turnovers. And that's kind of been one of our Achilles heels this year is turnovers, especially from a young team that's still trying to figure each other out. So for him to go 6 assists and no turnovers, and then our next point guard, Trey Bryant, he went 5 assists, no turnovers in our last game. Was very impressive from those two guys. So excited to see what those guys are going to do moving forward. I also want to introduce Boston Hudson here. Boston's on our staff. He joined us this year, played a couple years down at Wayland. Him along with Brian Litzinger, who's back from last year as our top assistant, and then John Ellis, who played for us last year, is on our staff. So excited to bring Boston on board. He's been really good for us. It feels good to have another guy from West Texas on the staff with me, so that helps us, as Robert can tell you. It's a little bit unique at time to time, but really excited about our staff. They've done a great job this year, and excited to finish the semester out Saturday against Baycom. Got any questions?
Is Joe okay? Joe?
He is. He had a dislocated shoulder when we played at Baker, so we lost him for about 3 or 4 weeks, and it's still healing up a little bit, but he should be fully back as far as Saturday is concerned. He's played a little bit here and there these last couple games, and we've been very cautious with him, but we're going to have him fully back on Saturday. Any other questions? Thank you.
The name just wiped out half my script, so I'm going to go over here and rewrite it. Denney, go ahead. Let's hear your announcement.
That was good. I was part of that group that was watching that video of Matt in the 2005 marathon, and he had all frizzy hair and everything. And I didn't know he won the Oklahoma City Marathon. Of course, you watch that video, neither did the announcers until it was about the last quarter mile. It's like, wait a minute, who's this guy? Matt even not only ran past the race leader, he ran past the cars that were filming the race leader. And he's trying to get people out, get out of the way so I can run. So congratulations, Matt, on that. That's good. We get a lot of, as head coaches, we get a lot of recognition, and we get a lot of things to do up there, and people are like, oh, wow, those type of things. And when it comes down to it, a lot of the work's done by assistant coaches and people on our staff, like Vinay was talking about. The American Baseball Coaches Association is the umbrella organization for all amateur baseball in the United States, and it also branches out to the rest of the world as well. It is kind of the premier organization for baseball. And we have conventions. There's typically 5,000-6,000 coaches at these conventions. And the ABCA, when they give out awards, they mean something. I mean, to really be honored by the ABCA is a very prestigious award, and it is something that is very respected and stuff like that. About 4 years ago, they started an Assistant Coach of the Year award to add on to all the awards that they've given over the years. And it's always gone to a Division I assistant. One Assistant Coach of the Year, period. And it's gone to one assistant, and it was a D1 guy. This year, they decided to open it up to all divisions, college, high school, as far as an Assistant Coach of the Year. And I received a phone call from the ABCA, one of their top officers. And he told me that when it came down, and this is kind of, it's a great honor, but the way it went about here, he called me to tell me when it came down to trying to decide who the NAIA Assistant Coach of the Year, the very first one, the inaugural NAIA Coach of the Year, they said there wasn't even a discussion. Says there was only one name and one name only. And they said it was only fitting that Keith Lytle be named the very first ABCA NAIA Baseball Coach of the Year. And I said, hey, great and wonderful. For those of you who don't know, Keith and I, this is our 31st year together. I tell a lot of people, he was my first recruit as a head coach here, and to this day, he's still the best recruit I've ever brought in to Oklahoma City University. And today, what I really want to do is just let you all know, I know you've probably seen on the website, he's been named the NAIA Assistant Coach of the Year, but what I really want to know is what kind of an honor this is and the whole story behind it, the fact that they said there was only one name that came up. And coincidentally, he's the only assistant coach that is in the NAIA Hall of Fame as well, but we just wanted to recognize Keith Lytle as the very first NAIA.
I'm gonna put your trophy right over here. Really cool engravement right there.
I know a lot of people in this room, and there's a lot of people that I don't know well. I always get teased when I show up at these and the staff meetings, because everybody goes, "Would you get lost?" But the other day I was told that you have to be here. And if you do know me, you know if I'm not here or someone, I'm in the batting cages with somebody. And I think that's a pretty good place to be. That if you do know me, you know I'm not comfortable with this. I'm like Phil McSpadden in that sense. I know Phil can't stand getting up. I could talk about anything in the world except myself. But I know a long time ago, Jimmy Valvano said, "Never forget from whence you came." And I don't ever forget where I came from. I wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for Denney. And my wife certainly deserves to be standing next to me. Those two people that supported me beyond any words can explain. And everybody laughs at me because I can't talk without getting emotional. It's just part of my mom and me. But the bottom line is as hard as it is for me to do this, I am extremely humbled and proud of this award. When I first came here 30 years ago, I promised Jane 5 years. I'll move on and get my own job. Then he kept offering me his. Several times he offered me his job. And I fell in love with OCU. I'm still in love with it. I'm hoping we're getting directed back to where we need to be in certain areas. And I got to commend all the athletic programs here because it hasn't been easy. We've had to figure out ways to make it work here lately, and that's kind of going on nationally, I think, with economy situations. But that's one thing I love about OCU is, home of champions, all this. That's true, but it's because of the determination and the grit and the desire and the pride and everything that comes with it. And it's a big part of why I'm still here 30 years later as an assistant coach. But this man's never treated me as an assistant. I've never, not that there's anything wrong with doing that, because if you know me, I wouldn't make a good head coach. I'd probably last a week, because Denney says there's still buildings on campus I've never been in. The last thing I want to share with you guys is what's really cool about something like this, besides the obvious, is all the love and support that came back from the people that matter to me the most, and that's our alumni. You know, we had our alumni weekend this year, and for the first time, 30 years kept resonating in my brain, and I'm sitting there listening to our alumni one by one talk to all of our current players now. And I don't know why it took so long, but I realized that's Denney and I's, that's our legacy. That's 30 years of invested time. And the joy that they shared with me after getting this award is more important than any award they can get. So I'm going to shut up now. Denney, I know you love doing this because you know I can't get through it. I tease me when I sit back down. I do want to share this. The other day, how many of you watched any of the funeral of President Bush? Did anybody happen to catch the ambassador? I'm going to give him the wrong title, probably, from Canada, on his speech and his closing line? Did anybody, just by chance? That touched my heart so deep that it made me realize all the joy that all my friends shared with me. And he said something in closing on his speech with President Bush. He goes, there are wooden ships, there are sail ships, there are ships that sail the sea. But the best ships are friendships, and may they always be. It's great to have good people in your life. Thank you.
Anyway, I'll follow that just with a quick closing. You know, I've been at Oklahoma City University for 15 years, and am honored by the staff that we get to work with. We've got NAIA Hall of Fame coaches sitting all in this room. We've got an unbelievable number of conference coaching awards. We've got Hall of Fames that you go down through the list, and it's an amazing group of people that we get to work with. And obviously, that emotion coming out, I get to experience that every day with these coaches in regard to these athletes, and it's a group. So, in closing, again, appreciate all of your support. Appreciate you guys being here. Remember that we have basketball 2 and 4 o'clock Saturday. The kids are going to be heading home, so any people that we can get in the stand will be very valuable. Please come and be loud. We then have the game on the 31st, and then moving into the new year before the kids get back, we've got January 3rd, January 5th on the road, January 3rd at home against McAU. Those will be 6 and 8 o'clock games, so please come join us. I'll turn it over to Tony and let you start drawing some numbers.